you want to hear some music? You'd like that, wouldn't you? Well, today you're going to get all the music you want.
The request lines are now open. KGFJ Soul Radio.
Do it now, man.
Request lines are up.
It's open, man.
Got any Blue Oyster Cult?
No, I don't have any Blue Oyster Cult. I ate 34 pairs last time around. Where were you? I was that close to working at 7-Eleven, you know.
Pass the word along. Tell the men it's time to shoot the moon.
Shoot the moon!
Not out there on the microphone. On the microphone.
Shoot the moon. Shoot the moon.
The attitude dictates that you don't care whether she comes, stays, lays, or prays. I mean, whatever happens, your toes are still tapping.
Hey, Strawberry! Oh, Strawberry. Hey, what's happening, man? How you doing? This is my friend.
Hey, how you doing, man?
What you looking at, man?
Oh, nothing. I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking at his neck, man.
Can you honestly tell me that you forgot the magnetism of Robin Zander or the charisma of Rick Nielsen?
That's kid stuff.
Kid stuff. Well, how about the tunes? I want you to want me. The Dream Police. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Build your muscles picking strawberries. You know, Band and Scoop. Maybe I could get you a job with United Fruit. I got a buddy with United Fruit. Start with strawberries, you might work your way up to these goddamn bananas. When, boy, are you gonna get your act together?
We're creating a society of cell phone crazed, marijuana smoking zombies.
Coming to you not quite live from Lukewarm Tallboy Studios deep in the land of Gar, this is Bend and Scoop, the podcast featuring music, mirth, and minutia, focused on exposing artists you probably haven't heard but should. I'm Bob, and I'll be your tour guide on this amazingly asymmetric auditory adventure as we journey to the center of your cochlea. Welcome to episode 46, which is also the year my mom was born, which disturbingly is also the year after Blondie's Deborah Harry was born. Joining us at the end of the show to play a round of Is That Your Vinyl Answer? In our Groovin' After Party will be special guest Gary Grant from the How Many podcast and the upcoming Grant Central Station podcast. We spread the gospel of vinyl here at Bend and Scoop, so be sure to tell us all about your favorite neighborhood record store by posting to @BenScoop on Twitter or Instagram using the hashtag SpinMomAndPop. Our record store of the week is Brewery Town Beats in Philadelphia. You can follow them on Twitter at btown_beats, on Instagram and Facebook at Brewery Town Beats, and you can check out their website at brewerytownbeats.com. Let's kick things off with Brooklyn's Savok from their 2020 album Rotting Teeth in the Horse's Mouth. This is Vis-a-Vis on Bend and Scoop.
From the feet, we hide and bury things we don't want to see. My darling, dance with me. Feel rotten dreams. Good things can come in three when it's you and me and vis-a-vis. We know it's time to care. Vis-a-vis, you owe me something more than sympathy. Vis-a-vis, dance with me, I am not the enemy. Vis-a-vis, c'est la vie. Tell me this is meant to be. Vis-a-vis, dance with me, I am not the enemy.
Music San Francisco.
Everyone in Texas
Austin's a giant dog there with Toy Gun off their 2017 LP, Toy. How Many is a podcast where I get together with my friends Jesse, Junior, Scott, and our special guest Gary to debate a variety of pop culture topics, including movies, sports, TV, music, and more. You can follow How Many on Twitter at How Many Podcast and listen at howmanypodcast.com. We've got a new episode coming out soon all about how many great American bands there are, so definitely check that one out. Up next from LA is Color TV, with this fantastic tune released as a single back in 2017, Anybody's Girl, here on Bend and Scoop.
I know you're not listening, spending all your days looking in the mirror, baby. I know you're out whispering, telling all those guys that I'm a girl. I see you walking down the street with your heartbeat, holding your hands out. I see you every time we meet, it's like you're looking for something, but you ain't getting nothing. I'm not gonna be just anybody's girl. I'm not gonna be just anybody's girl. You're so slow to get a cool, think you can't take out your chip, 'cause they'll make it out to you. You say, I got it made in the shade, that I'm good enough for a guy like you. I see you walking down the street with your heartbeat, holding your hands out. I see you every time we meet, it's like you're looking for something, but you ain't getting nothing. I'm not gonna be just anybody's girl. I'm not gonna be just anybody's girl. No, no, I'm not gonna be just anybody's girl. No, no. I see you walking down the street, holding your hands out. I see you every time we meet, it's like you're looking for something, but you ain't getting nothing. Yeah, I'm not gonna be just anybody's girl. I'm not gonna be just anybody's girl. No, no, I'm not gonna be just anybody's girl. I'm not gonna be just anybody's girl.
Okay, Anthony. I'm gonna get a real good picture now, okay?
Look at him. He's got my eyes.
Got my nose.
And my sympathy. All right.
We want some wallet-sized pictures, too.
This kid won't fit no wallet size.
Make them good pictures. My wife's very particular.
And what about you, John? He's very particular, too.
Surprised you married each other. Here we go, Anthony, will you?
I want you to
Be quiet, too, okay? Anthony, be quiet, will you? Just stay still, will you? Talk to me, somebody. Quiet, will you? Blanche! John, Grandma, talk to me, will you? Stay quiet, will you? Come on, hey, kids, stay quiet, will you? Be quiet, will you? Somebody, will you shut the fat little bastard up?
I could say that I don't mind, but I don't wanna be that kind. Hold my breath, 'cause everything is fine, but I don't feel alright.
From Toronto, that's Pony with the lead track from their brand new record, TV Baby, called Choke Cherry. Have you ever wanted to host a podcast? Well, all you have to do to join the Mike Hunt and host your very own episode of Assume the Juxtaposition is send me your topic idea to lukewarmtallboy@gmail.com. You can follow Assume the Juxtaposition on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at AssumeTJPod. My buddy Soko Chico is a strong believer in this next band, Diamond Hands, with this song from their 2020 album 3 that may or may not be a cautionary tale about those who drag their heels on investing in a hot stock. Sleep Too Long, here on Bend and Scoop.
KTIM FM San Rafael.
You ought to see what they're doing up here on stage. They're dipping and diving, slipping and sliding, doing it hog style, dog style, live.
Emptiness, I confess, storm and stress since you left late last year. I get by, keep my place clean, wasting time in magazines, chasing fear. Even in the best light, didn't see it coming. At a standstill, it won't stop running. My mind, the refrigerator humming, slow dead. I just read 1,000's left without a bed across the west and disappeared.
That's Austin's White Denim describing the feeling some have the day after getting their second COVID vaccine, slow death, from 2020's World is a Waiting Room. Plausible Deniability is a monthly podcast I co-host with my pal David Miller, which you can follow on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Pause Deny. We post new episodes on the first day of every month. From Chicago comes Rat Boys, whose 2021 LP, Happy Birthday, Rat Boy, includes this twangy delight, Go Outside, on Bend and Scoop.
I wanna go outside again. I wanna sit back with the windows down and breathe it all in. I wanna go outside again. I wanna lay down in the sand. I wanna show up at the shoreline and drink Lake Michigan. I wanna lay down in the sand. And I wanna walk down my main street. I wanna listen for the birds who might be talking to me. I wanna walk down my street. I wanna be eloquent. I wanna take all my best friends and show them where I live. Oh, I wanna be so eloquent. And I wanna make myself a meal. I wanna wake up with you next to me and ask you how you feel. I wanna make us both a meal. And I wanna love you till the end. I wanna float off with the angels and pick a fight and win. I wanna love you till the end.
Where you going?
It says come in and browse.
May I help you?
No, thank you. Just browsing.
Hey, what do you got in this place? Antiques?
No, those are the customers. May I help you?
Oh, no, thanks. Just browsing.
How long do you intend to browse?
Well, that lady there. You didn't ask her how long she intends to browse. How come you're asking us how long we intend to browse?
You don't look like browsers.
No, what do browsers look like?
Yeah, maybe I'm half browser.
On his father's side.
Nevertheless, I prefer that you do not browse any longer.
Yeah, well, it's a free country.
Yeah, if these people can browse, we can browse.
Hey, Nicky, let's show the lady we're browsers, huh? Hey, look at us, we're browsing. Hey, hey, ducks in heat.
Please, that's 18th century.
Hey, folks, better keep browsing or she'll kick you out of here. Hey, look at us, we're browsing.
Is this an odd or an end?
Hey, lady, if I buy 2 odds, will you show us your end?
When I get this money, will it change me? Will I still be hanging around and will you see me? I bet I have my same friends with different ladies. When I get this money, will you change me? Been thinking about getting out. Been dreaming about getting out. Been thinking about getting out. Been dreaming about getting out. Will I still live in Detroit smoking crack rocks? I probably still will 'cause I like it a lot. Maybe only then you will miss me.
Straight out of the Motor City comes the Craig Brown Band with that rowdy jam, Get This Money, off 2017's The Lucky Ones Forget. Campfire Songs is a podcast where I get together with my buddies Todd, Jim, and Tom to share and discuss songs with each other. Be sure to follow us on Twitter @SongsCampfire and give us a listen for more great music. And don't forget to stick around for the end of the show when we'll be joined in the Groovin' After Party by our special guest Gary Grant from the How Many and Grant Central Station podcasts. Goodfield is our third Austin band of the show, whose 2018 record, Surface Tension, features this tune, Sparkle Playground, here on Bend and Scoop.
His friends told him
When American Sound says all around, they mean 3 great locations: Sunrise Mall, Florin Mall, and Freeway Close at Watt Avenue and Highway 880. And they mean all around in stereo systems. Everything you need, like this great Sansui system with a full-size record changer, these big 3-way 12-inch speaker systems, and the Sansui AM/FM receiver. A fantastic system, and at the American Sound price of only $333. Only one of over 120 systems in the $200,000 inventory. American Sound all around Sunrise Mall, Florin Mall, and Watt Avenue at Highway 880.
I don't wanna join your revolution, so leave me alone. No spiritual journeys for me, I'll stay home. Use your breakthroughs for something worthwhile for once. And save the human race. Haven't we suffered enough? Sears guitars with broken strings sing a song about something. Find the noise that moves someone. The record plays and the damage is done. The record plays and the damage is done. And the damage is done. The record plays and the damage is done. And the damage is done.
That's Glenn Donaldson performing as the Reds, Pinks, and Purples with the brilliantly titled The Record Player and the Damage Done from his just-released third album under that moniker, Uncommon Weather. Remember to be sure and check out our Bend and Scoop Spotify playlist. If we played it, and they have it, you can listen to it there. And if you enjoy listening to what we do here on Bend and Scoop, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you get your podcasts. You know, we could all use some extra cash these days, so here's hoping you'll soon come into some easy money.
Monty Capoletti is just a regular guy. He loves his family, with a few exceptions.
It's Mother! Leave him, dear. Just simply walk out on him. His entire body is bloodshot. He'll never change.
She says I drink too much, I smoke too much, I gamble. I got no,
Class. You're an ecological menace.
Yeah, well, you were the inspiration for twin beds.
He respects his friends, as much as they deserve.
Sweetheart, watch out for this guy. He'll buy you a bottle of beer and squeeze the schlitz out of you, know?
He's proud of his daughter.
So hung up on you.
Yeah, good idea. I'll see you in church.
She's getting married.
You sure it's a good idea?
Over his dead body.
She's beautiful. Yeah. Who's there with her?
Can I call you Dad?
And he enjoys his job.
Okay, hold it there.
Even if it kills him.
We gotta stay still. We want to get a good picture.
He was cruising down the highway of life when his luck took a turn for the better.
To my beloved daughter, Rose, I bequeath $10 million if her husband, Marty, can reform himself in 1 year.
You could do that standing on your head.
But the road to riches is nobody's freeway.
No smoking. No philandering. Hey.
Yeah, what, 10 million? 5 million, maybe. No gambling.
Hey, money. Pick around for 100.
No alcohol. No drugs.
I'm sorry, it was an emergency.
And you must weigh not more than 175 pounds.
Yeah, thanks to jogging, more people than ever are dropping dead in perfect health.
It's easy money.
Remember, we'll be watching you.
Will Rodney Dangerfield shape up or crack up? With $10 million hanging in the balance, there's no such thing
Hey, while I'm up here, check my oil.
as easy money.
People listen to people. So listen, people.
Welcome to the Groovin' After Party. Come on in and pour yourself a cold one.
Joining me now for our Groovin' After Party here on Ben and Scoop is Gary Grant from the How Many podcast and the soon-to-be-heard Grant Central Station. Welcome, Gary.
Hey, what do you say, Bob?
So I've told people about How Many. Scott and Jesse and Junior have told people about How Many. So what's your take? How would you describe How Many to people who have never heard our podcast?
How Many is a little bit different than a lot of podcasts because we don't really pigeonhole ourselves into talking about one topic. We talk about sports. We talk about movies. We talk about music. We talk about particular actors or actresses. We talk about singers, not just the bands. It could be anything. But what happens is a group of us will be having a conversation. Somebody will say the name of an actor or a band, or maybe a song that leads us to an actor or a band or a movie. And we'll just try to determine how many relevant things that person has. So if it's a band, how many relevant songs do they have? Maybe their total catalog is 200 songs, but they've got 6 or 7 hits, and we'll argue over what that number is. And then we'll go back and do a little bit of research and see who's the closest. And that's the gist of How Many. And like I said, it could be how many good Marvel movies there are, or how many good movies Robert Downey has made. And obviously Marvel movies that he was in would count as part of Robert Downey Jr.'s list, but he's got other things that he did as well. So it could be a little bit of everything. We talk a lot of local sports, a lot of history of sports, and then all kinds of stuff that's pop culture.
Now, speaking of sports, that's probably going to be the main focus of Grant Central Station, yes? It
is indeed, yeah.
Now, how are things progressing on that front?
I knew you were going to use this to pressure me, but it's coming along okay. I actually have been really unhappy with my setup here at home. I've had some problems with getting good sound quality out of some of the headsets that I've used, and I didn't particularly like using my work computer to do this. So I had gotten another computer, which I had been using for my work, and I started using one of my old computers. So I've been kind of fixing that thing up and getting it ready. And now I'm playing around with the software that Junior insisted that I purchase a premium copy of so I could do this editing. It turns out everybody else uses free software, but Junior wanted me to spend money. But it's coming along. I don't think it'll be much longer. My intention was originally to do it before the NBA season started, but I wasn't ready for that. And so now I'm going to try to get it rolling sometime between the NFL draft, which is 2 weeks from when we're recording this, and the NFL season. So I may be a few more weeks out, but I'm getting close.
Now, I will say your sound quality right now is better than I recall ever hearing it on any of our recordings for How Many. So I don't know if you've got a new headset or what, but it sounds very good.
It's all the above. It's a redone computer and a new headset.
So thumb up to your setup. This is, I think we're almost there. All right. So Gary, you have a very interesting musical background because unlike a lot of our other guests who have been either maybe musicians or maybe have been involved in some other form of music, you actually spent quite a bit of, I believe, the 90s managing a record store, a Blockbuster Music, correct?
I did, yes. Yeah.
So let's learn a little bit about your personal musical journey and play around of what we like to call, is that your vinyl answer? You get it? Yeah. Because vinyl, yes, sir. See, is okay. All right, so we're going to start off with what was the first record you ever bought? And I understand you may have a little bit of a different take on this.
I do. So I'm significantly younger than you. I'm just, I'm pushing 50 and you're well into your 70s. So we have a very different take on these things. By the time I really started becoming musically conscious and purchasing my own music and things like that, we were already kind of getting into cassettes a little bit. We're talking, probably early to mid 80s or something like that. Prior to that, though, in the 70s, I did listen to a lot of music. My mother was very, very big into music. My dad, not quite as much. And they were wildly different in the things that they listened to. But my sister, my older sister, who's 5 years older than me, she is the one that kind of got me started on music. So she had a little blue box that she kept in her room that was full of 45s. And when I was very young, we're talking probably 1976 or so. I was probably 4, maybe 5 years old. I don't recall exactly the first time that I heard it. I don't know if she played it or what, but she played Rhinestone Cowboy by Glenn Campbell. And I thought that was the greatest thing I think that I had ever heard. Of course, at that age, how many things had I heard? But I loved it. And so I played it a lot, and I got in trouble for playing it because it was her record player. And they were afraid that I was going to scratch her records because I was too young to be setting the record player up and playing it by myself, but I did it anyway. And so Rhinestone Cowboy, Glenn Campbell, probably I didn't buy it. I just kind of took it over from my sister. But that was my first record, was a 45 of Rhinestone Cowboy.
Nice. Now, it's interesting that you mentioned family, because you're actually related to a member of ZZ Top. Is this correct?
Yeah. I think you like talking about this more than I do. Mostly because I
would love to be related to somebody in.
No, I'm not mad at it. I don't know enough of the specifics to really talk about it without sounding like maybe I'm an idiot. Here's what I know. I have a lot of family on my mom's side that is from the Livingston area down in Houston, down near Houston. And so we have had for my entire life family reunions up in East Texas, where most of my family lives. And as we got older and a lot of those people started dying off, my mom actually went to a family reunion that is had down on near Livingston. And she discovered, now this is a much bigger deal for my mom than me, that she is some sort of distant cousin, maybe a fourth cousin or something like that, to one of the guys in ZZ Top. I believe it is Dusty, but I could be wrong about that because I just don't know the specifics. I'm sure my mom remembers, but it's been years ago since she told me. So yeah, some sort of, I don't know what that makes me, fifth cousins, something. I don't know. Yes, somewhere down the line, distantly related to one of the members of ZZ Top.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, do you remember, I know you mentioned Rhinestone Cowboy being the first record that you really had. Do you remember, even if it was maybe when you were in your early teens or whenever it was, the first one that the cassette or whatever that you went into the store and bought the first time?
The first one that I bought myself. I wish, you know what? I should have thought about that, but I was so hung up on the fact that I hadn't bought vinyl that I tried to go through and figure out what other kind of answers to give you.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I ever thought about that. So I probably would have to look it up to see which one was first, but it is either, I believe it's Kiss Animalize, but it could be Rebel Yell.
Oh, nice. Rebel Yell. Solid pick. I remember that one well. Now, back in those days, was Vista Ridge an entity, or Golden Triangle? Where did you guys go from Lake Dallas to buy music?
That would have been Golden Triangle first. That was there before Vista Ridge.
Okay.
Spent many weekends of my youth at the Golden Triangle Mall as a mall rat.
What was the record store they had in the mall there?
I want to say there was the Hastings came later. There's a Hastings behind the mall, but it wasn't inside the mall. I think the one inside the mall may have been a Goody or a Sound Warehouse.
I
want to say it was a Sound Warehouse, but there were a couple that were in that mall. Now, Vista Ridge was different. Vista Ridge came along in my early to mid teens.
Yeah.
And so by the time my friends and I would, I had a couple of friends that had driver's licenses. If we were going to a mall, we went to Vista Ridge because it was bigger and it was newer. Golden Triangle was my more like preteen years. When I was 8, 9, 10, 12 years old, I was running around Golden Triangle.
Now, do you know if you or maybe your mom or sister still have that Rhinestone Cowboy 45?
No, I am that. Listen, that blue box that she kept in her room that had all the records in it, that thing was falling apart in the mid 70s. So I would say that they're probably not in real good shape wherever they are today. But no, I'm 99% sure that my sister does not have any of those records left. My mom may have some from a very long time ago because she still has some albums.
Oh, nice. You got to go scroll through those someday.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I might do that.
What all's in that stash? Now, for your personal collection, now this can include digital, whatever. Which artist do you own the most, have the most albums by, or anything?
Okay, so I'll give you two answers to this. I'll give you the one that I thought of from a vinyl perspective, and I'll give you the answer that you just asked, which would be including digital media. So from a record perspective, my mom was the one that I liked. I liked the music that my mom liked more than I liked the music that my dad liked. But listening to music with both of them gave me a very diverse sense of what was out there, because my dad was very country. And when I say country, I mean Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys and Hank Williams Sr.
So like old school country.
Marty Robbins and things like that. Not like country like George Strait would have been in the 70s or in the 80s. Not that kind of stuff. A lot of old Willie Nelson and things like that. So that's what I listened to when I was around my dad. My mom, on the other hand, was Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Supertramp, all that kind of stuff. So as a kid, what I remember the most of was Supertramp, because I remember all of the Supertramp albums. I'm a really big Supertramp fan, and I have a lot of their stuff digitally now on my phone. But as a kid in my mom's record collection, I remember the album covers to the Supertramp stuff, as well as a lot of the others too. But the Supertramp's what really sticks out to me. So I would say the one that she probably owned the most, or the most that I remember, was the Supertramp. Now, me personally, the thing that I have the most of is probably Prince or Guns N' Roses, but it's probably Prince.
You know, I don't think we have done a How Many on Supertramp. We may need to trot that out, because I'd be on board with that as well. That'd be a solid episode of How Many.
Yeah, they got a good 10 or 11 at least off the top of my head, something like that.
I think at least 15, but
there'll be some things. Yeah, there's some things like that. Like there's a song that was kind of popular called Rudy. I never liked that. It kind of grates on me.
Yeah.
But it's always like included on their greatest hits. So I may be going a little low on them, but the songs of theirs, like the 10 or 12 that I could name off the top of my head, I love that. And I'll never get tired of listening to them over and over again. So I'm a big fan of Supertramp. I think they're very underrated when it comes to the 70s and 80s bands.
So what's your favorite album of theirs? Is it Breakfast in America?
It is Breakfast in America. I actually gave that some thought before this started. If I had to, like, my top three would be Breakfast in America, then Crime of the Century, and then Even in the Quietest Moments. And I can tell you what those album covers look like. Like, as a kid, I was drawn to Even in the Quietest Moments, even though looking back on it now, I would say there's only like 2 or 3 songs off of that record that I really like. Like Give a Little Bit is on that, and From Now On is on that. Yeah. And I really like those songs, but that's the album that has the piano covered in snow.
Right. Yeah.
And I really, really liked that album cover as a kid. So Breakfast in America is a much better album to me, but that's sort of that diner scene. Obviously.
Well, it's the Statue of Liberty as a waitress, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I don't know why, but the piano, and it was a dark piano and it's pure white snow. So there was the juxtaposition of colors there. Juxtaposition. That's like
assume the juxtaposition. And also Crime of the Century is like the stars with the prison bars. Yeah. Yeah. Those are good. Those are good album covers. Yeah, for sure. Is there any CD or cassette that you've bought the most over the years?
You'll get a big kick out of this. Your listeners probably won't understand it, but we can talk about it a little bit. But it is easily, without a doubt, not even close, License to Ill.
That's probably mine too.
Yeah, so we talked about this because you guys always accuse me of hating the Beastie Boys.
No, Junior accuses you of hating
because I think License to Ill, they've never even approached that level of success again in my estimation. So that CD or that tape or whatever it was that you want to call it, from the first track to the last track is outstanding. Everything's great. And everything else they did was more like what everybody else does, which is, an album full or a CD full of songs and 2 or 3 might be good. But it was never anything like License to Ill was. And License to Ill, and especially because that was right in my teen years, that's when stuff goes missing. You buy a new cassette, you listen to it a little while, and then one of your friends nabs it and you never see it again. You buy another one, then it comes out on CD, so you switch over to that. I've probably bought License to Ill 15 times.
Whoa. Wow. That's a high number. It's a high number, but very solid. I just bought that vinyl within the past year. So we're also continuing to buy those on our end. Now, who among your friends and family would you say has the largest collection of vinyl? Is it your mom?
No, it's probably you, actually. I don't know.
Me?
I mean, I don't
have 100 yet.
Okay, but I don't know anybody that.
I must be Scott. Scott's got a huge collection.
Yeah, it's either you or Scott. One of you two probably. Now, my ex-stepdad, my stepdad had a lot, but he passed away in like 2010. And I'm not sure what happened to all of his records when he passed away. He's got several kids.
John's dad?
Yeah.
So maybe John has them.
No, he does not.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, he may have some of it, but he had a pretty decent collection. Now, his stuff, if I had to pick one of my mom, my dad, my stepdad, or my stepmom, if I had to pick one of them to say that that's my musical taste, it would be him. It'd be Michael.
Okay.
He's now, again, just like what was with my mom, it was Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Supertramp. All of that stuff was from when they were married when I was a kid. So, I give that to my mom as far as credit goes sometimes, but I think it was more him than her because he was still listening to that vinyl up until he passed away.
So is there any record store over the years that's been your favorite? Was it Blockbuster Music, just the memories you had working there?
I mean, I had a lot of fun working there, but I don't know that it would be my favorite music store.
Like chasing guys out in the
I could tell you, if you were interested in having a fight, it was a good place to be. But if you get tired of fighting over CDs, then not so much. I'll say this, of the Blockbuster Music stores that I worked at, there was one that was on, what was that? It's like Centerville and 635. There was a Pier 1 Imports, and it was right next to that Pier 1 Imports. And that's the first one that I actually worked at for a while. And it was very, very large. And about maybe a third of it was actually a video store. So it was like a combination Blockbuster Video, Blockbuster Music. And all of the Blockbuster Musics had video sections in them, but this one was massive. So it was like having an entire Blockbuster Video in there.
Is that the one where you met Gwen Stefani?
No, I was at Coit and Beltline when we worked at the place where we got to meet Gwen.
See, that would be definitely a good memory to have.
It was, the managers, we used to get to go to the CD release parties. And when I worked at the first store at Centerville Road, I was not a manager there. I was just a sales clerk, whatever. When they made me an assistant manager is when I moved to the Coit and Beltline Road or store. And that's actually where I met Rob and Steve and all those guys. So
awesome. Well, before we close out, I just want to see if there's anything else you want to add as far as your social media for the podcast, for yourself, any ways people can follow you, follow How Many, follow Grant Central Station?
Yeah, sure. So my Twitter is at travel_cowboy. That is the easiest way to reach me. When Grant Central Station gets kicked off, the Twitter on it is at Grant Central Pod. No spaces, no dashes, no nothing. So those are the two best ways to get to me. But at travel_cowboy is me personally. That's how you find me on Twitter.
And How Many is at How Many Podcast. Be sure to follow that one also, folks. Thanks for being on, Gary. We appreciate it. We look forward to the new podcast. And I am going to lobby for that Supertramp episode of How Many. We need to get that on the books.
Yeah, that would be good. That'd be fun.
Bye-bye, lard-ass.
Bend and Scoop is a production of Lukewarm Tallboy Studios.
We will return tomorrow morning with the sun.
Good evening, and have a good life.